Thank you. We are back for another week and another episode of 2635 Club. Let everyone just trickle in while we, get the atmosphere ready. But while we do that, let's turn over to King Diamond Eye and see how he's been doing. How you been, man?
Well, I've been doing pretty well, you guys. Can't complain. Can't complain. Hugh with this trash DJ. Mm-mm.
Gotta set the atmosphere, my man.
You just ruined the whole mood for the week. You just
Well,
crashed it. Now everything's going good. Just been getting everything situated for Mars s- cheer and school and stuff like that. So I've been running around doing daddy things.
cheer school is like a competition or something coming up.
No, she already did her competition, but they're getting ready for their like little homecoming thing, and then school. I don't know why her school did it this week, but it was like the Halloween like theme type stuff. So it's like do the pumpkins and all that type of stuff. So I had to go run to the store, grab a whole bunch of bags of candy and whatnot. But for the most part, it was a good week.
Okay. Okay. Doesn't sound bad. My week is pretty good up until today, where I'm trying to fight this cold wherever I got. Got the plague from the school. Yeah, yearly sickness from the school. So if I sound a little raspy or you see me walk off stream today, just know I'm trying to make it through. You know, that's all I can do. That's all I can say.
See,
Other, other than that, man, it's been pretty good. I'll say it's pretty good. Went to the city this evening or today, and we did a. Uh, did I do that with you? The VR? Yeah, that was with you. Went back to the VR. I did a different one this time. If y'all have never been to the VR arcades, if you have one around you, this is not like your Meta Quest or nothing. Like this is way different, way more immersive. But this time we did Room K, which was like an escape room and a shooter, and it was pretty good. We actually won this time, just me
mm,
and Ramos. We won this time, and so I was pretty hyped. It was just me and him. There was like literally no one else in there. We walked in there. We didn't book a room or nothing. We just walked in there, and he was like, "All right, boot it up." And whatever. But I joined their like Discord community and stuff because they have like community days where you just pay the price of one um
admission.
when one admission and you get to play the whole night and stuff like that. And they use it as like a networking type thing. So I joined that little community and I was like, man, you never know who you might meet. So maybe we'll meet some people to come on the podcast.
Yeah, hopefully
So
you don't scare them away with your skills with that with the gun because mm, mm.
listen, man. I did really good this time. I ranked 668 in the world. So I was feeling myself. My accuracy was a little good. I ranked pretty high.
Maybe it was just the game that we were playing. Maybe see you shouldn't have picked zombies then if that's what I'm.
I see. What the zombies one was like. It was definitely more action packed than the one we did today. So I
Mm.
definitely think that had something to do with it. Because like the zombie one, you're just like spraying, trying to stay up. Versus this one where you had to use a little more like strategy and skill. So I
Mhm.
wasn't I wasn't always shooting as much as we were like in the zombie one. So I think that contributed a lot too.
So you actually had time to think instead of just, oh.
Yeah.
Hey, that one got me a few good times, especially when we first started because I was y'all made me and be the leader. I don't know why. It's because I'm light skinned, I guess. He goes like let him die first or something. I don't know. But when I popped around that first corner and it was like right there, I was like, yo, like that's where you be spraying and praying. You like, oh no.
Gotta get him killed, man. Yeah, it is like super realistic. They had this part in the game where like you had the helmet on, and we like went in the elevator, and it was like we pressed it, but it felt like I don't know how they did this. It felt like we were going up and down on the elevator. It was like super trippy. I was like, I don't know how like they get how they did that. Like, cause it didn't look like there was anything different on the ground or anything like that. Like
Mhm.
everything looked normal and the same. And I was like, I don't know how they did that.
If I remember, I think they had like those like you know how gyms have those foam flooring? Maybe
Mhm.
there's like a pad in there that kind of gives you that.
That's what I kind of think, but I don't know. I'm not sure. The floor didn't look like it had anything necessarily in it, but it probably did.
Got you.
But yeah, it was pretty cool. And then we ate at you know who Dave Portnoy is, the guy that does the pizza reviews.
Yeah. He's on the
Oh,
stool, right? If I'm not
yeah,
mistaken.
Barstool. Yeah. So we went to one of the Barstool places. He's done like a ton of New York spots, but we went to the place he rated the number one pizza place in New York City. And man, we got there. So for a little
Crowd.
backstory, we
Crowded.
went to the number two pizza place that just opened this year. They only just opened this year. We get there. They open at 11:30. We pull up at like 12, bro. Line out to the back, already wrapped around the building. I'm like, oh man. So, you want to wait in this line? I'm with Ramos. He's like, yeah, we're just gonna wait. I was like, all right, wait in the line, get inside, get all the way up to the front. Literally ordering, and she's like, just so you're aware, your pizza will be ready at 2:15 or 2:30. It was 12:30. I was like, what? She was like, yeah, we only make like 5 or 6 pizzas at a time, and we do like a staging, like a segmentation. So, you walk in, people who get there as soon as they're open, they're first. Then the people behind them are getting theirs, and so you walk in, you order for a specific time. And she's like, but you can order for later too. I'm like, well, what's later? She's like, oh, like 7, 8 o'clock. I was like, 7, 8 o'clock. Not doing that. We just leave. So whatever, we leave. And he's like, all right, let's go to the other spot. So we call it Uber, go to the other spot. And we get over there. Uber prices in New York also, just by the way, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. We went like 20 blocks, maybe $30. 20, it was like $22.
Dollar a block.
Ridiculous. Yeah, whatever. So we get over to the other pizza place. We like the Uber's passing the pizza place, like it's on our right hand side. Uber just passing by. Bro, the line already like way down the street. I'm like, oh, here we go again. Also, the little backstory: they don't serve individual slices. You only can order entire pizzas. So we're going back. We're driving by the lines out the back once again. I'm like, oh my goodness. So we get out the Uber, and the Uber driver kind of played us. No, he was like, huh. As we open the door, he's like, "Good luck," and then he just shut the door and drove off.
Oh, he was trolling.
Yeah, he did troll. He did troll. I looked at him. I was like, "What?" So we get in line. We're waiting, and we met these two people. Like, there's a couple behind us, and a dude from he actually was from Florida, another Florida man, in front of us. So we were just talking about New York, whatever. And like the owner or whatever, I don't know if it was the owner or the manager. I don't know. He comes out. He's like, how many you got? And I was like, two. I'm thinking he's about to say something crazy, but it just be like 15 minutes and we'll get you in here. I was like, oh, okay. So we get in there.
Waited for till your pizza won't be done until 5 p.m.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
He didn't hit us with that. We get in there. So we get in there. I'm thinking that they were going to hit us with that. I was a little nervous. So we finally get in there. And like, I don't know, you came to New York. So like the inside of the places are super small. You know what I mean?
narrow.
But this place was a lot bigger than the other place. Like the other place was super small, like super tiny. That place only fit like 8 people inside of it. But so we get inside, we sit down. You could only order whole pizzas, obviously. And so I was like, all right, let's just order a whole pizza. I'll get half on my side of what I want. You get half on what you want. We'll just split it. Cool. Pizza comes. All right. And I'm like, all right, here we go. This Dave Portnoy says this the best pizza in New York. Took a bite. I'm not gonna lie. It was good. I
Well,
don't know if I
yeah,
don't know.
I knew it
I
was
don't
good.
know. I don't know. Like
Was
it.
was
Go
it
ahead.
better
Go.
than that place that you took me to around the
I don't
corner?
think it was. I don't think it
Oh,
was.
that place was jumping.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I think here's where I'll start off by saying pizza is obviously any food, but pizza specifically is all about the palate, the person, right? Some people like sweet sauces, some people hate sweet sauces. You know, excuse me. I like a Papa John's. You know, you don't like Papa John's. I hate
I
Domino's.
love
I
Papa
think
John's.
oh whatever. I hate Domino's. You think Domino's is
Domino's
okay?
is all right, but
Yeah.
Domino's is cool when you like when you 20 something and you going home and you're hungry, but you don't want to go stop nowhere. You just have Domino's stop at the house for like $8 or whatever. It's bang for your buck.
I mean, I would rather get Little Caesars at that point. I think Domino's is terrible.
No, because if it wasn't freshly made, then you're just eating cardboard box at that point.
That is true, but I mean, $5 hot and ready. They don't even have that anymore, by the way.
Oh,
But
it's like
yeah, the five,
$7 and some
yeah, it's
change.
like $8 or $9. But anyways, so like that's so we'll go back. Pizza is not objective. Like you first, it's about what you like. Like, are you a deep dish type of person? Are you Detroit style, Chicago style? You know, that stuff matters. You know, do you like a floppy slice or do you like a a more crispier bottom? You know, it was good. I'm not gonna say it wasn't good. Like I would never tell somebody don't go there or anything like that. But I don't know if I would say it's the number one pizza. Like when somebody says this is the best of anything, I'm thinking something that's gonna like take my palate into the atmosphere. Like I'm gonna put it in my mouth and be like, or like swirling around, That's what I think. Like Calhoun short rib. When I tried Calhoun short rib in New Orleans, but this is the best short rib I've ever had. I don't know if you can beat this.
I will say that was a life experience because I sure did look at the price and I was like, boy. And then I was like, well, if I'm gonna have to pay this, I'm gonna pay it. And then when I ate it, I was like, worth every fucking penny, worth every penny.
Yeah, so that's what I'm expecting.
Excuse my language. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we need a swear jar for you. But
Yeah,
that's what I was expecting. I was expecting a slice of pizza to take me into the next level. It just didn't take me to the next level. It was good. I ate all my slices. It was good, but I don't know. I was like, I don't know. I gotta talk to Mr. Portnoy about his pizza selection.
yeah, but I mean, he's a Michigan fan, so I mean, his choice of selection is very poor in that right by itself. But
He's already questionable.
I do hate that though because there's a lot of like Houston spots that I've been wanting to go to, and it's like the Breakfast Club. I've heard the Breakfast Club is really good,
Yeah,
and maybe like we've been planning to go one time, and it was like when I say it was the line was down like a few blocks, it was down a few blocks. Like I'm not playing, like long line. And I was like, come on, man. And then there's just like some spots where like Trill Burger. I think we had Trill Burger. Trill Burger's been out for like I think a year and a half, maybe two. And I
mm,
think it was like 2 months ago I had it for the first time, and I was just like, don't get me wrong, it's a very good burger, but I was like, hey,
overhyped.
In and
Yeah,
Out, boy, that I mean hit you. But I will say he has some really bomb fries. I haven't tried the chicken strips or whatever else he got, but the I mean it's a good burger, but it's just like you said, burgers like you said, it's kind of like pizza with the palate. Like that his palate it doesn't hit right. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
So that's
So
the downgrade, the upsetting stories when you get so hyped on something, it's like lets you down.
yeah, and then like me and Ramos were walking, and every time we went to the place, we were like, he was like, "I hate TikTok, bro," because that's what causes the TikTok's that extra hype that
The food critics too.
yeah, the food critics and like the TikTokers who just were like, "This is one of the greatest places I've ever had," and then it's like they put an expectation that can't be actually reached. You know what I mean? Like I feel like once those types of videos come out, then you're just dealing with the over flooding of the place. Line. This place is literally could only fit 8 people, but it's got a line all the way out to the they can't even operate like that. You're right. So
And then the food, like the quality was probably once so great, but because it's so overbooked and like they got to keep up with the demand, that the quality
suffers.
suffers because of it. Like
Mhm.
that's I will say though that that's the greatest thing about living in Houston, because it's like the what's his name rated Houston like the second best place in the United States for food. They literally have everything, but you can always go to some. You can like when you like have a craving for something in particular, you always have a spot. One, you have multiple choices, so it's never a dull moment unless you're just a person of habit. But two, then if you're trying like uh if you're have a craving for Trill Burger, then you can get your like that. It's that one little piece that you can of the day of the week or whatever. You know when to go or when to get
Mhm.
it. Like it's not like it's like like when we craved sumos, it'd be like like only
Yeah,
sumos could be that one spot that we go to get that
that exact thing.
level of experience, or
Yeah.
like Longhorns, or you go to Texas Roadhouse, or you go to whatever restaurant. It's like that particular suits for that particular food. And I think that's one of the greatest things about being here. It's like you have so many options that yeah, they blow up, and then you have to deal with the crowds, but it's like only when I crave that for the one out of 8 billion meals that I eat throughout the year, I can get that feeling. It's like going a cheesecake factory. Like, when you get your cheesecake, you're like, oh boy. But it's not
Yeah.
like you got to get it every week, or every day.
I mean, I could get it every day, but
Hey,
I'd
I'm
be
not
on.
with you,
I'd
boy.
be on here 400 pounds with
1,000 plus me over here. I got red velvet cheesecake just dribbled on my
on
shirt.
those epic.
Yeah.
I'd be on those epic quick. So yeah, but yeah, no. So it was a good day though. Got to do the city, got to play some VR, got to catch up with a good friend. So it was all good. Having a decent week so far in fantasy. Uh, Winning so far. It's early, but we'll see. Playing the second best guy. So I played the best guy, then I had to buy. Now I'm playing the second best guy.
Man, they about to light your butt up. You're gonna be like, dang, dang, dang.
I
I was
had a
doing
lot
so
of
good and I'm on.
I had a lot of injuries and
Oh,
stuff from last week. So I was hoping to buy some of these people would get healthy by the next week, but I had to do a little swapping for players. So, and we're getting pretty late into the season now. All the good players are picked up, and now you're
all
getting
the good
deep.
reserves and stuff.
Yeah, you're getting these second strings that are like who one day have 100 yards, a touchdown, and then they don't play for the rest of the season. So it's like,
That's why like I said, you gotta be paying attention early. Like you committed now. You gotta be up there
yeah,
early in the morning and focus and be like, all right, this game, I just need him to score. All right, all I need is 15 points. All right, who do I know that in the free agent market that can just give me 15 points, or I need at least 7. Who can give me at least 7 points? So you gotta be truly committed to that.
yeah,
That
it's
ain't
a
a joke.
grind. But so we'll see. Next week I'll have an update for y'all on how AB's team did. Uh,
Did you win last week? Or you on
had
a
a
bye last
buy,
week?
had a buy last week. Well, I'm 3-3 right now, so we'll see. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But so we're gonna get into the first little topic, little something just a little different. I wanted to talk about because the NBA had its opening week this week, which had some amazing games. Um, I don't know if you watched any of them. The
I saw the highlights of the
overtime,
Spurs.
the double overtime Thunder first Thunder game that went double overtime. The Thunder and uh, Houston, the Rockets. That went into double overtime. That was a really good game.
Oh yeah, I
And then,
remember because KD called the timeout when he didn't have one.
yeah, KD did call the time. He did pull the
Chris Webber.
for Chris Webber, but they didn't acknowledge it. So they should have probably lost the game after that. But whatever, they still ended up winning the Thunder. So, and then another double overtime game against I want to say they play Indy or something like that. Um, so they've been through it these first few days, and then but really the highlight of the NBA or the talk of the NBA has been the gambling scandal. And these come out quite a bit in sports,
but
probably
not
every
like
couple of
this.
years, but not like this one. This one is wild, and I just want to talk about it because this is actually this one is literally off the chain.
Put it up on the screen for me, my man.
I shall put it up on the screen. Just give me 1 second.
But the crazy part is have you seen like all the blowback and stuff from it? It's like the Stephen A. Smith comments and stuff like that. Like normally it's like when it hits the sports world, it's just like ESPN, but this is like over. This is like local news. This is across like every news channel, every news thread that you could think of.
Yeah, this is bad. This one is like actually bad. Like, I mean, I get it. Gambling, rigging games is bad. Like you don't want to lose the competitive edge over in your sport. But this one is actually pretty bad. Like,
And the crazy part is like you would never like out of all the leagues, I wouldn't expect it from the NBA. Like the
yeah,
NBA is
this-
like
they
the
make money.
like when it comes to like publicity and stuff like that, like NBA is like top of the cream of the crop in my personal opinion. Like don't get me wrong, the NFL has its own day of the week. Like nobody does in like you do two things on Sundays. You go to church and you watch football. Like those are the only two things you do on Sunday. But like NFL is the most powerful entity in the United States, in my personal opinion. But the NBA, when it comes to like branding and social justice and stuff like that, and getting like squeaky clean, making like top notch image, like NBA is like the class valedictorian of sports. Like, it's just like the honorable, it's not the D1 athlete that's the next LeBron James, but it's like, when it comes to class, it's like that's top dog. So this is crazy.
Yeah, this is crazy. And the the people involved is strange too. Like Chauncey Billups is, arguably an NBA, Hall of Famer, um, multiple time champion, just a really good player, somebody who had a really good career mostly. Just don't really, and a current coach. I mean, he's making money. You know, the fact that he's just involved in it now. Terry Rozier,
That
uh,
one's crazy.
that's crazy because it's just like,
And he just got investigated not too long ago too.
yeah. And so he's back in the spotlight. But so are those who are just tuning in or watching later? Basically, what we're talking about is that the NBA gamblings that came out. So there was one indictment accused a current NBA player and another former player and assistant coach of using information about the players to defraud betting companies. And the second indictment accused a Hall of Fame player, now an NBA head coach. Oh, Billups is in the Hall of Fame already. So my bad. Of serving as a lure to entice players into rigging poker games organized by the organized crime families in which the victims were defrauded of at least 7 million. More than 30 people were arrested in what prosecution said was a multi-year investigation. And here are the defendants in the indictment. So Chauncey Billups, Portland Trailblazers head coach, accused of luring wealthy people into participating in poker games in return for a portion of illegal profits. Damian Jones, a former NBA player, assistant coach, accused of supplying insider information of the network in a conspiracy to place winning bets on the game. He also was accused of helping lure wealthy people into participating as well. Scary Terry Rozier, NBA player who, as a member of the Charlotte Hornets, is accused of telling his co-conspirators that he was planning to leave a game in March 2023 early because of his injury, information that was unknown to team officials. And the indictment said co-conspirators accusing of placing 200,000 on his under totals, then splitting the proceeds with Mr. Zier, his childhood friends, and defendant Dario Lester.
Hey, before you continue, you know it's crazy. You know how they have those commercials, like I think it's like Prize Picks, or I
Mhm.
can't remember which one, but it's the one where you can choose like you just choose the player and how, like if they go above like 25 points a game or
Yeah,
like they do 12 or whatever, and you can like uh the up or under.
yeah.
And it'd be like they be having some of the commercials where it'd be like, "Yo, such and such mom's gonna be at the game," and he'd be like, "Every time his mama be at the game, he has scored at least 40 points," you know. So then it was like it got cuts to where the dude's like betting on the dude to I think he had like 30. It was like seeing if he went to like 30 points or whatever, and it was like, dang, it was like they really be doing that because I mean the Terry Rozier stuff, like you can you can see like it looks bad, but then you can kind of argue with it too because it'd be like, yo, you at the barber shop, and then your boy be like, AB's like, yo, King Domino, you gonna score 40 tonight? I'm like, I don't know, man. My knee's kind of sore, you know. I think they're just gonna have me play a few minutes in the game or whatever, just to, you know, keep me in condition for the season, but I ain't playing too. I ain't doing nothing crazy to tweak this. I don't want to retweak it or cause a more injury or whatever. Because like coaches do that all the time. Like, hey, we know you're hurt. We're just gonna put you out there for a few minutes, see what you can do. If it hurts too much, or you're not helping the team, we're just gonna pull you out or some stuff like that. So how's like so it's like you can argue it both ways.
I mean, I'll consider that rigging as well. I mean, you still gave that person information that pretty much is going to help him determine how to bet. I get what you're saying though. Like you're not saying it in intention of being like,
Yeah, your
hey,
intentions isn't there, but it's still.
but it's there. Yeah. So yeah, I get what you're saying. Um, and here are some accused members and organized crime. This is really where it's like
Yeah,
it
that
gets
one's crazy.
scary. So Ernest, I'm probably gonna butcher some of these. Alilio, accused member of the Bonniino. This is some power stuff. It's some stuff out the power universe in real life. Crime Family, Louis Al Pacino. I'm just gonna butcher these. Accused associated with the Gambino crime family. Accused of participating in rigging poker games in East Hampton. That's actually right out by me. Um, Matthew Dandino.
They gonna come
Accused.
knock on your door now.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, "Ah, you want to play some poker?" No, I don't. Accused
What?
member of the Gene OVC crime
Just,
family.
just stop.
But yeah, I'm
Just stop.
sorry. It's
Just stop.
some
Just
Italian.
stop.
Lee, another Gambino crime family. Um, another accused of the Gambino crime family, accused of helping organizers game poker's hosted primarily at 80 Washington Place in Manhattan West Village neighborhood. Also rigging games, like once again at East Hamptons. The Hamptons are kind of if you're not from New York, this is once was a predominantly black area, gentrified and turned into a rich area now.
Yeah,
Um,
it's in like the Beverly Hills kind of New York.
little bit. You can still find some affordable houses in certain areas of the Hamptons, but yeah. Um,
That one right there, that's kind of crazy that it's Italian because that Amar Adawadi,
yeah,
that one looks like it's Jewish. So I was like, dang, you know.
might be. But this list gets pretty long. I mean, there's some accusers of participating in.
I mean, anything that Vegas touch, in my personal opinion, when it comes to betting, it's gonna have some mob tied to it. That's just me. Maybe I'm just like one of those because I love like gangster movies and stuff like that. So maybe it's just I'm so used to seeing it on like the Goodfellas and Casino and stuff like that that you kind of just and then they had that one 30 for 30. I can't believe I think it was I can't remember the school or the player, but they ended up rigging the game or whatever for the Italians. It was actually I think it was in Goodfellas or whatever, but you always get those mobster feelings when anything when it comes to Vegas and especially bets.
Yeah, absolutely. And the I feel like this is I've been seeing a lot of defenses of people saying things like, sports betting is legal, so why isn't this legal? And stuff like that. And like this is not in the same. No, I don't agree with sports betting, but this is not in the same vein of sports betting. Let's not get confused with regular sports betting and something of this nature. These people are being lured, one,
Thousands of dollars.
yeah, thousands of dollars, and these people are also rigging the game so they can win. Now, I did hear something that said like Terry Rozier was only getting like 2% of the cut, which for bets of like $20,000 or something, he's only gonna make 2K, literally. Now, as an NBA player, I'm sure just signing, you know, a vet minimum pays more than 2K a game. So to me, I don't understand. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but what I'm getting at is I don't see how this would be a benefit really to him.
The only way that I think that it would be a benefit is if he did like even games he wasn't playing in because he did 82 games or what 30 how many teams 30 NBA teams, so that's 15 games. So if you think about $2,000 a game, that's what about 30 grand a day or depending on what how many teams play in the day or whatever of the week. That might be a little some.
I mean, I'm sure it will add up.
Or
I'm not going to sit here and say it won't add up. But what I'm saying is that you're already making whatever you're making to play per game. I mean, he's 31, and let's look at Terry Rozier's
I see two
most
things.
most
I think
recent contract.
I see it's either the mob made a offer he couldn't refuse, or he just felt like he was because you once you're a high athlete or whatever, you get to a certain status where you think you're untouchable. So maybe he was just like, "What difference does it make? I ain't gonna get in trouble." And if I could just pocket an extra, $30,000 or whatever he makes or from it, then so be it. I'm scary Terry. The NBA needs me, or so the arrogance that's sometimes high athletes get.
Well, I mean, he shouldn't be broke. I mean, Scary Terry's most current contract is 96 million, 4 years, 96 million. At $26 million, let's just do some quick math. $26 million divided
But
by
maybe it's just not about the money. It's just like I can get
it.
away with it. So
Maybe he has a gap. I saw on I was listening to uh Inside the NBA, and they were saying he probably has a gambling. Well, Kenny was trying to make the claim that he might have a gambling addiction, which maybe he does. Truly, maybe he does. I think there's definitely a lot more to this story that we're not getting because this is would make him look really bad and stupid.
I can't remember where I heard it from, but it was basically
I mean, hold on before you just real quick.
go ahead.
At his current salary, he's getting $324,000 per game, basically.
Like I said, maybe it's not too. We don't know until we get the full facts. You just don't know how much he's getting paid because like he may be getting that per He might be getting that per game, but you know how like you get taxed for every like
Yeah,
you get
you
the
gotta pay
year
the jockey
city
tax
tax,
and
and then
yeah.
you have to pay like the taxes of every place that you played at that whole week. So it might not be to that. But what I was saying was is see, you made me lost my train of thought. Dang, I had a good one too. It is what it is. I'm not gonna stress about it.
Yeah, I mean, and I agree. If you, after the taxes, paying your agents and all your properties, you probably aren't pocketing as much as But even if you're taking home $75,000 or $110,000 a game, way more than most people, man. Still no reason to be in to really to get to this level.
I remember now. What I was saying is he may have like because you know how like they try if you watch the Michael Jordan's Last Dance, they try to say he had a gambling issue or whatever, and that's was the cause of his dad death. I was watching something. I think it was on TikTok or it was on YouTube, one of the two. Where it was like it was like a old like prior mobster was telling like, yo, you go to these, you get these athletes that go to like all these places and they have to show out like they're King Tut or whatever. So they throwing down all this money or whatever, and they may like they just think like sometimes they get set up because the location, like say it's the MGM casino or whatever, and they get like an allowance or whatever, and it'd be like 150,000 on the house, and then they spend that, and then they're like, all right, I need another 150,000, and they were like, well, we just as a courtesy, we already gave you the 150,000. Oh, I'm good for it. So then it's like then they end up owing more. They keep getting themselves in a deep hole to where they end up owing the casino that's attached to the mob or whatever so much money that the mob basically has control over the player on like, oh yeah, it's cool, we're gonna allow this debt to be hit it or swept under the rug if fake an injury this game. All right, all I gotta do is fake an injury, and my half a mil debt is clear. Yeah, yeah. Just and then they go, so they clear that debt, and then they redo it all over again because we're creatures of habit. To where they're in another big hole, and then they have all right. Well, last game we just had you fake injury. This game we need you to throw 2 picks before the first half, and stuff like that. So I think it could just been he got himself in one of those type of
Yeah,
situations.
he probably got himself in deep, and these mob folks. Like I said, this is not our normal type of content we talk about, but there's no quitting these types of things. Once you in, you in. Once they say, hey, take this dive. Oh, tomorrow you're gonna be injured. Next week you're gonna be injured. Like you gonna be injured, or they gonna do something to somebody or someone.
Mhm.
It's not one of those things where you can just be like, no, I don't want to do that. That's why people have told, we tell people, we tell you guys every week, just don't do it. Because once you start, man, that stuff is hard to get out of.
Yeah, I'd be amazed when you be talking about gambling sometimes, or when you used to, like when we went to New Orleans the first time. You guys were like, "Oh yeah, I won like $400 or $500." I was like, "Bro, even you guys, my sister. My sister hates going to the casino with me. I go in with $20. That's all you getting out of me. I play at the $10 blackjack tables. I I've I've gone. I mean, I've robbed some blackjack tables a few times. I remember one time I went in there with like $13 because I bought a beer to drink or whatever, and the dealer laughed at me, and I racked up like $400 on this dealer. Like they swapped them out quick after a while. I was like, hey man, just because I come in with a little bit of cash, I mean, I don't know what I'm doing. Like I'm the least. I'm the person you hate the most because I'm not the type of person that's just gonna stay there all day. I can go I can lose my $20 in 20 minutes, and I'm like, all right, I'll sit here and watch you play, or I'm ready to go. So what's the move? I'll go eat at the buffet while you continue to play. So I just don't know how people get addicted to gambling like that.
I mean, I know a person personally that was addicted to gambling. It's easy, man. I will say it's easy to get addicted. Now, I never got to that point. I was just like a I go whatever. I might take $100. I lost my $100, and it is what it is. I might
Mhm.
not go. I may not go for 2 years after that, But I'm not like people that do the sports betting hard. We got a friend that does the sports betting hard, and
But that's just because he has money and he's bored. That's the
yeah, but by now, I mean, I don't know how long he's been doing it, but what I'm saying is you become addicted. You know what I mean? Like, even if you have the expendable capital to burn, is what I'm getting at. Is that it's it's not necessarily worth it at some points. Like, that more than likely you're going to lose anyways, right? Because that's the whole point. They're not these companies, these sports bet companies have to make money. So the odds are not in your favor. They're in their favor, right? But it's the payout, the quick cash, the quick like I just turned $10 into $10,000. That's what you get addicted to. You get addicted to the highs. And so for that's what I think this sports gambling rigging, is. It's like, hey, look, here's a way you can make an extra couple million on the side. All you got to do, they painted it probably in a pretty picture. All you got to do is just invite people. They try to bring it down so it don't seem like they get in so much trouble, right?
but don't they also do it? Because I think when your friend that you're talking about, I think he used to you and another friend that we have, Blackout, used to always say like he would get like all these vouchers and stuff like, oh, come
Yeah,
and you get like
they would
300.
lure you in. Yeah,
It's like
they
that they
would.
do that on purpose because it's like, even if we lose $300 on this, we gonna gain that back. It's like
Yeah,
10 times over. So
I worked with a guy who was an avid gambler at my last company, and he would get offers all the time from they give you what they call a casino host, which is just a person that's just literally dedicated to keeping you coming back to the casino with offers. So like they would hit him up and he'd be like, "Oh, they gave me a free weekend in the room, a $200 voucher at the steakhouse, and $300 in match plays. So if you spend $300, they'll match 300, the first 300." So he'd go up with like $1,500, and sometimes he'd come back in on Monday. He'd be like, we won 30 grand. We won 20 grand. He would win though, because he was a heavy player. But for the most part, like as a everyday person, they're not like it's just a
you gonna
pool.
go
It's
ahead
just
win
they
that
just
cheap.
sucking you. Yeah, they just sucking you in. And so unfortunately, these people in the NBA got sucked in pretty hard. Man, now they're in a very bad situation, but more so, they put a lot of people in danger. These mob people, they don't play no games. And that's what made this one like a little more scary. It is, like the Gilbert Arena one, was like, hey, yeah, he got in a gambling thing, but that I know of, he wasn't with, dealing with the crime families and rigging, and who knows how deep this is going to go. This is just the first bit of information too. Who
That's the
knows how
the
deep
Chauncey
this.
Billup portion of it. That kind of what made me think of Gilbert Arenas. Like, dang, everybody was trashing Gilbert Arenas for his little thing, and I was like, sound like Chauncey Billups doing the exact
Do the
same thing.
same
Like,
thing. Yeah, he
but
doing the exact same thing.
But you could tell the difference between Gilbert Arenas is more like me and my friends want to make money off of all these rich people that we know. Let's do it type ordeal, or at least that's how that storyline came to where this one is like, nah, these are you know people with mass power that can take your whole family if they wanted to type stuff if you don't help them out type stuff. So it's like it benefits them on a lower level, but the stakes are way higher because of the threat that they have. You know what I'm saying? Like Gilbert Arenas is just like, oh, he upsets 1, 2 of the betters or whatever, they'll just stop coming and they'll probably tell their friends, and then they'll just have to find a replacement for him type stuff. You know what I'm saying? To where this one is like, nah, that's how you get those Lonzo from Training Day scenarios, is because you screwed the mob out like billions of dollars probably and stuff like that. So it's like,
Yeah, this one is wild. But yeah, we'll keep watch on that. We'll keep you guys updated because I think this is interesting, definitely. So I'll definitely be keeping an eye on this one. But it's turning looking to be like a good NBA season. I will say that.
everyone's healthy.
Everyone's
Playing.
healthy. Teams are looking good. Really competitive. Opening day. So I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, but like I said, I've seen like I said, I'll watch the highlights here and there, but it ain't until Christmas Day. It's like, okay, like, cool. That's cool that there was 2 double overtime games or whatever, but it's like, all right, come get me.
Two
Come
double
get me.
overtimes and an overtime. Golden State last night.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
But I think that's why they're doing that in season tournament, because it feels like I was looking at tickets for the Rockets games to see go to a decent Rockets game and not pay an arm and a leg for it, for decent seats. And I think it was like 7 games into the regular season, then it's like in season tournament. I was like, dang. I was like, dang, they start this off quick. It's like, you ain't got no, I remember it was like usually Christmas Day, it's like 22 games into it. You're at least like almost like, yeah, I would say like at least 20 games into the season by Christmas Day. It's like, nope, it's like 15. We're already in the playing tournament. It's like, all right, that's what's up.
Yeah, the end season tournament ends like right before Christmas. I think is when they do the final few games of that. So, I mean, right now there's not a whole lot of incentive to win that besides a little bit of cash. I think they should. It's so early in the season. I think they could make that a little more competitive if they maybe did some playoff implications with it. But with it being so early in the season, I don't know what you could really do that would be fair. You know what I mean? Because like you go 20, you're only like probably 20 games into the season, and I wouldn't say like you're guaranteed a playoff spot because what if you just are bad the rest of the year as a team that goes like 8 games, but they won only 20 games, but they won the in season tournament, so they're making the playoffs. I don't think you want to do something like that.
Maybe
But
draft an extra draft pick or
an
something.
extra pick, maybe that might be
Second round, because I wouldn't see.
or a trade swap or a pick swap. Maybe you can't swap with someone in the lottery, but
You can't. It's a top 5 protected, but it or whatever. I think
yeah,
yeah.
maybe something like that. I think if you put a little more stakes behind it, then more people will get into it. More people will watch. Versus right now where it's just like everybody wins. I think what the winning team gets 50K. Everyone gets 50K or something like that.
I don't. I think but I think it's or 100K. I think it was 100K,
Yeah.
and that's including like so everybody got it, because I know what the Lakers won the first one, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think they were all excited because it was like some of the players that don't even make 100K uh on their contract for the year, they were able to get it, do something crazy, type stuff or whatever it is. It was something crazy.
Yeah, it helps the players that are not making that much for sure.
The
But
12 and stuff.
yeah, but the LeBrons and stuff, they don't care. Like 100K, I make that in every day.
It's like Tom Brady or like Peyton Manning. They like in the Super Bowl when you win MVP, you get like they give you away a vehicle to you or whatever, and they end up giving it away to another teammate or something, because it's like,
What do I need this?
it's cool that you gave me a brand new 2027 Toyota 4Runner, but I don't need it. I got
100 cars. I could buy
yeah,
5 4runners tomorrow. Yeah, It just the value isn't in there. And I think that's the biggest thing with these little in season tournament all star games. There is no reason to compete. You know, what's the reason? You know, you say, "Oh, I'm going to be slam dunk." No one cares about the slam dunk championship, so no one does it.
Only historians, the old school, the old heads and stuff like that.
Yeah, because it
But
meant something. It doesn't mean anything to us. You know, this generation, these players,
yeah,
it means nothing.
not just that though. It's just because like you can only do so many dunks. Like what haven't we not? What haven't we seen so far? Like that hasn't been done before. Like you've seen someone jump over a car. You've seen the cradle rock. You've seen jumping from the free throw line. Like unless you could do something like unrealistic, like you fly all the way from the 3-point line, do like you spinning around without a trampoline or something to give you that extra ability. Like there's really so many dunks that you could do.
I mean, but the street dunkers, they be putting on shows. I just think that they don't. The NBA players aren't the same as the street dunk. Like the street dunkers put the time and the effort to get creative and do this stuff. The NBA players are just like, we can dunk, so let's do something where we dunk.
But I also feel like it's more exciting for the street dunkers because they're average people compared to a LeBron James that's you know gifted, like who's 6'9" that can run a 4'5", whatever, like that can jump 12 feet in the air type stuff. Like how many average people could do that? Where the street ballers, it's like people that got 9 to 5s that, or, they do it, but they're built like us. So it's like me doing some crazy dunk or something like that.
Yeah, I think if the NBA wants to be a little more competitive in there, they can do like a team. Like the NBA votes on a team captain, and the team captain goes out and gets street dunkers and builds a street dunk team to go against the other players' street dunk teams. And maybe even the captain gets in on the dunking as well. And then that team is crowned the dunk champions. You know, I think that would be a little bit better right
So
now.
like a old school and one mixtape, but with dunks.
Yeah.
'Cause that's how the and one used to be, where they used to take the bus tour. They would go to every major city, and then they would have a tournament, and then the champion of the tournament got to play in the game
Yeah.
with them or whatever.
Yeah. I think that would be, people come out because the everyday people are going to come out and they're going to put on the show because they trying to prove something. You know what I mean? The NBA, there's nothing to prove. They already make millions of dollars to just run around and shoot threes, basically at this point.
Yeah, but it also is like the Pro Bowl, uh, NBA All-Star. I don't know about MLB. I don't know if it's that significant anymore. I know the home run derby is still exciting, but it's like most of these uh celebratory in season or all-star type atmospheres are kind of like watered down now just because the athletes don't really care about it like they once like it back in the day. It used to be a honor to be a all-star. Now it's just like Kobe's been an all-star for 25 times just because he's Kobe Bryant. Like you're just gonna, even if he's not one of the greatest, he's not having a great season, you're still going to vote for Kobe Bryant because it's Kobe Bryant and you want the brand. I think they need to go back to actually like who's really having a good year, and let's put those people in the all-star compared to just having LeBron, because then it's like it's a catch 22 to it, because it's like, yeah, it's cool to have Steph and LeBron and all these all stars, these big name athletes, but then it's like once those athletes are gone, like who's really filling the gap? And I feel like the NBA with superstars, the gap is kind of, it's very wide open because it's like you have Steph, LeBron, and then you have Kevin Durant, you have like a small few, and then it's like who's the next top dog? Like we question it. Is it Anthony Edwards? Is it Shy Gillis? I can't remember his last name, so I might butcher it.
Shea
But it's
Gilders
like,
Alexander.
yeah, who is it?
I probably say it's Shea, Wimby, if Wimby can stay healthy.
Luca. Is it like
Luca,
who's the next like five that you can be like, dang, like
Giannis
I want to be
still.
like them, like
Yeah, Giannis is in there. Embiid if he could stay
Giannis
healthy.
was, but I think he's towards the back end of his career. My personal opinion, like he's still a athlete, but it's like as a popularity, since he already won or champion, it's just like, all right, what else do I need?
Yeah, but I think people want Giannis to win another. I think the expectation for him is still till he can still win another. He won't leave Milwaukee, and Milwaukee won't build a team that can actually win. So, but anyway, so we're not gonna get into that. That's the side thing. I think if we're looking at the up and coming players, that's who I would say. Um, but yeah, I agree. It's wide open. You know, the throne is open. LeBron is on his way out, regardless if it's this year or whatever next year. But he's
Like
on his way out. So
at this point, it's just like they just have the All-Star game just for like Hall of Fame reasons. Like since Michael Jordan was a 15-time All-Star, like we got to keep that going. So it's like LeBron
yeah,
has to go to be an All-Star because you're like,
it's
oh,
more of
he's
a
the first one to do it, 23. Yeah, it's
popularity contest
like
than
Tim
actual
Duncan
All
was
Star.
in the All-Star game for years, and it was like, don't get me wrong, Tim Duncan's one of the greatest power forwards in the league, but it's like he's not the best center power forward that of those seasons. So put someone that actually deserves it. Like you got people like maybe I'm trolling just because I'm a Kings fan, but when Boogie Cousins was in the league, like when he was with the Kings, and he was clearly one of the best big mans in the league, he was getting swept under the rug during those all-star things because you had so many good big. You still had Tim Duncan, you still had Dirk that was still getting these all-star selections just because they're Dirk and they're Tim Duncan.
No, yeah, I agree. I mean, you could always name a player every year that should be on the team that doesn't make it. So I agree.
Chris Paul, like Chris, when's the last time Chris Paul actually been like that? Like, yeah, he can give you 12 assists a game. Like he averaged
And
12
8
assists.
points.
Yeah, but he's not the top point. He's not one of the top point guards in the league no more. Like, leave him home. His knee. That's why he ain't never been in no finals. Because you be giving him all these all star selections, and then his old body is broken down, and then you break it more. So by the time it gets to the NBA playoffs, he's way worn out.
Yeah, he don't got the body for it. Let's
He's
be
like
honest.
those TikToks. Have you seen the new TikToks with the where it's like bald tires and it's like, I need you to last just a little bit longer, baby. Come on, do it for daddy or whatever. It's like Chris Paul. That's how I see Chris Paul.
Yeah, him and Kawhi.
Oh, that's your
And that's not my boy. Definitely not my boy.
Skip Bayless boy.
Yeah, that's Skip's boy. The Claw. The Claw ain't gonna make it to the service center. He'd be ready for a tune-up game 4.
Which is crazy because everyone sat there and was like, when he won it with Toronto, it was like, move up, LeBron's done, it's Kawhi's time, and it was like, just because he won one final, like he had one like Kobe Jordan esque moment in the finals and won it, that he's the next top dog. And then now look at him, like
I mean, and he also beat a battered Golden State team who literally lost like their whole team by the time they got to the finals. KD was out, Clay was done. It was literally just Steph. Yeah, they won. Okay.
curse of the Jordan brain.
Yep. But well, we're at an hour, so we hope you guys enjoyed today's show. A little different. We're still. If you checked our social media page, we did a few call to actions. Kane Diamond and I. We'll be doing a little bit of more of that because we want to hear from you guys. We want everyone's got a life story, as King Diamond and I said on what he posted. So we want to hear it. We want to talk. We want people to learn and grow and from each other and build a community and a network where you could come together and get advice and tips from other people who've done this stuff. So if you got something, everybody does, but if you got something you want to tell us, come on in. We really did hear your story. But any last words for the week?
ELE. Everybody love everybody. But nah, real note. I ain't got nothing. Everybody have a safe weekend. Talk to your loved ones. Give them hugs. Tell them you love them type stuff because you don't know what tomorrow brings. But positive mindset, make positive outcomes. This is the Club 2635 Club. You don't have to go home, but you got to get out of here.